Hey everybody, Ben here from DMC Films and Cineblock Studios, and I'm back with another quick tip for all you painters out there. So it might be a little bit difficult to see from where you guys are, but I'm working on this painting here, and I have these lines sort of trailing back from the rock structures I already have painted. Now they're going to be a little bit larger and a little bit wider up here once I get to these ones here that I'm be painting a little bit later today. But in just doing the small thin ones, you might think, oh, that must be a pain in the butt with a brush. Well, I don't use a brush for that. And let me show you a quick technique for painting those straight lines. So for this technique, you're going to need some sort of acrylic paint. I actually recommend something softer than a heavy body. So for this, I've actually got some white acrylic gouache, which is an acrylic-based gouache product. So I'm going to use that. It's a little bit softer, and it should work in this technique really well. Now this does work with heavy body, but it's a little bit harder, and the paint tends to be a little bit thicker and not create as thin and clean of a line. Soft body paints as well as liquids also work really well for this too. So you're also going to need some sort of, I suggest using just a regular index card or a note card. I don't have any of those around, so I'm actually using this little scrap of watercolor paper. And it's one of those things, like if you're using a nice piece of paper like this, it can get expensive after a while, like something like this or bristle. But that's all I have laying around, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. But again, you can just use a note card. Saves you a few dollars in the long run. So, get your little blob of paint out, and you want to spread it out. Make sure it's sort of clean and even. And spread yourself out a little section of it on your palette. And so from there, you can take your note card and just kind of dip it in the paint. Then on canvas, paper, whatever you happen to be working on, you can kind of just stamp in a line. This is really a useful technique, and you usually can't get more than a couple lines out of a single dip. But if you need those perfectly straight lines, whether you're doing maybe fence posts, edges of a building, what have you, this is a great technique to use, and I highly recommend it. So while this isn't a technique that I'm going to use in every one of my paintings, if I did more architectural stuff, I would definitely use it. I actually did this technique, and it worked really well for my painting, Challenge the Gilded Tower. The tower itself was made primarily just with a piece of, I think it was like bristle paper when I did it at that point in time, and paint, and just kind of tapped it on, kind of played with the card rather than trying to brush it in, which would, for me, create a bit of a wavy line since my hands are a little bit shaky. So if you found this tip useful, hit the like button, get subscribed if you aren't already, and this has been from DMC Films and Cineblock Studios. See you guys next time.